my name's Jo and this is Cotton and Fluff. Thank you so much for popping along today to see what I'm up to. After my escapades with the Donny shirt, I really felt like I needed a confidence boost. Do you ever feel like that? Have you ever been sewing a project that hasn't gone quite right and you just really need to walk away? And I think people call them like a palette cleanser, but I think for a beginner sewist, I think I just call it a real confidence boost, which is I think what we all need a lot of the time. We really do. So what I decided to do was look back to what I've made, how I made it, and what I thought of it then. So I've sort of looked back at some notes, and also I looked in my wardrobe. So I'm being really conscious about what I'm making and what will it go with, when will I wear it, and do I really need it? So I thought bottoms. I've got quite a few t-shirts, vest tops, things like that. I mean, eventually, as we go into autumn, not yet, I'll be making some sweatshirts, because I do need some sweatshirts, and I would like to do something with some French terry, because I've never sewn with that before, so that is something I want to look at. So going back to this and doing something that's going to really boost my confidence, I decided that I wanted to revisit some of my trouser patterns, or pants. I think it's everywhere, isn't it? Everything's pants at the minute. So I've made the chanterelle, and I've also made some of the chanterelle into the shorts, which were lovely. But then I thought, right, a pattern that I haven't tackled, that I've had in my stash for quite a while, was the bob pants by Style Arc. I wanted to have a go at this, but put no pressure on myself. So rather than using any fabric that maybe I've bought or that I really loved and I wanted to make a fabulous garment out of, I looked at anything else that I had in my stash that might be suitable, something that maybe wasn't the right quality, you don't think it was going to be a fabric that you're going to want to use. So I had a look, and I remembered I went to Fabricland a few weeks ago now, and I picked up some of this navy blue poly cotton with some leopards on it. It was so stiff, and as soon as I got home I washed the lot of it, and it's still quite stiff, but I thought this would be perfect because it's going to give me the structure and the weight to help me sew something, and it doesn't matter if it goes wrong, it's just some fabric, but it's going to help me. So I plucked up the courage to think, right, we're going to go with this and make the bob pants with this fabric. I haven't tried the bob pants before, and also with the Style Arc instructions, people have said that maybe they're a little bit sort of limited, they're very sparse, there isn't a lot of detail. When I looked at the pattern, yeah, I could agree with that, with the instructions, I could agree with that, but I thought, well, actually, what else do I need? And I had to really sort of think, come on, you can do this because you've done that before. It is very simple. You've just got 4 little bits of paper with some diagrams on it, but really, when you look at the bob pants, they are a nice, simple, straightforward pattern that you can sew, and also they come together quite quickly, so it's something that you could make in a day or over the weekend if you just wanted to take some chill out time with it. I absolutely love the pattern, but I thought, hang on a minute, okay, I've made them up, I did the measurements, my size, and I thought, are these going to be really big in the hips and the bottom because of my shape? Because I'm quite small at the top, biggish at the bottom, I didn't want to accentuate the hips and whatever. But actually, because of the tapering in and the shape of the actual pants, I feel as if it's it suits you. I think it's all to do with the fabric you've used and what you're wearing them with, if that makes any sense. I mean, I've just paired up these, so I finished them and I paired these up with just a plain t-shirt. I think they're fab, and if you haven't tried the bob pants as a beginner, it is really one to have a look at. once you've got it, you've got it. If you're going to download the pattern and then get the AO size and ping it over to a print shop. I will list below the ones that I use. Get it printed and then have a look at your stash and see what you've got. Or if you've got something you love but you're not sure quite if it's the right time just to start cutting into that. Otherwise, buy some calico, or like what I did this weekend, I picked up some just some plain cotton sheets from a charity shop, and they were £1 each. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to sort of dye those, and then I've got that to make something up. I'm making it up as a twirl, but I know that if it does work out, I could quite easily wear it. I could finish them off properly and I could wear it. So that was my way of thinking. So anyway, I cut the pattern out, which was quite easy, nothing too tricky at all. Made sure I had the right elastic, which it said in the instructions, and cut it all out. Followed the instructions, putting things together and finishing the ends and whatever. And do you know what I think you get with this pattern? You get a confidence boost because the instructions tell you how to finish off your pocket. You just got to follow exactly what they say, even if you're thinking, no, I'm sure I should do it like this. Just follow it. Follow it, and then you can look back and you can see it's like with the pocket edging and your understitching. It just really makes it all look so professional. And I think it turns you into a really competent sewist as well. So please do try this pattern. So as I say, I've paired it here with the t-shirt. Now obviously it is still quite hard, this fabric. It's quite stiff, but I'm going to wash it again and again and again to try and break it down a little bit more. But you can see it is quite structured in there. So once I'd got those ones under my belt, I decided that I wanted to use some fabric that I have earmarked quite a while ago for something special. I hadn't noticed, but I hadn't looked in there at all, that Dunelm sell fabric. Now I thought that their fabric selection was purely or their upholstery fabric or their curtain fabrics in their made to measure section, and they had some samples. But I had a good look around and I looked on the website and it said they had this particular cotton poplin in stock, and it said I could collect in 2 hours. So I thought, well, they must have it at the store. Yeah, I went along and I said to the lady who was actually in the department, and I said, oh, I'm looking for this, and I showed her on my phone. She said, oh, yeah, it's here. And they don't display it very well. So if you haven't checked out the fabrics at Dunelm, you should find them. So go into what's called like a sewing craft section. You'll see they sell all the wallpaper bits and pieces. They sell the PVC fabric for your tablecloths and things like that. But then they've got some shelves with some there's some binding, there's some embroidery threads, and in the Oxford branch there was a couple of shelves which had bolts of fabric on. Now I'd never noticed that before. So I was really pleased, and I picked up this fabric for £6 a metre, which I thought was brilliant. So I think I bought 3 metres because I thought, well, I've got plenty for the pants, but then if I wanted to make something else, I could do. Just being visited by one of the dogs. Missy, you come say hello. Missy? No. So for £6 a metre, I thought, great, get 3 metres of it. I thought, well, I've got plenty for my bob pants or whatever trousers I was thinking of doing. I knew I wanted to do some trousers or some pants using the fabric because I love the stripe. So it was fine. It wasn't too bad at all. You know, £6 a metre, that's perfect. So obviously I washed all my fabrics and overlapped it before I washed it, and it had softened up beautifully. So I thought, don't. I thought, oh, for goodness sake, it's a bit of fabric. It didn't break the bank. It wasn't too expensive. So I cut the pattern out in the new fabric. And again, I got another perfect result. And do you know what? Sewing this has really given me a real boost to think, yeah, I can do this. I remember when I first started sewing, I couldn't even sew a straight line. I was really wobbly. I think, where do I put my hands? And I look at YouTube videos. I was watching people whizzing along. But when I look back, and I think, well, I've made a pair of trousers that are wearable. It explains very easily how to do the elastic. I think that way was easier than the chanterelle waistband. So I think when I make some more chanterelle, I will possibly do it this way, the bob pants way. And yeah, it turned out really, really well. And I actually wore them yesterday. I think I paired it with a leopard print blazer and blouse, because it was sort of, you know, perfect weather for it. And they're so comfortable, so comfortable. And I really hope that I'm going to make some more as we go into like the autumnal sort of season. Not yet, but when we do, maybe in a corduroy or in a slightly heavier fabric. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm so pleased that I have taken the chance and I have gone with it with the bob pants. So you must give it a go, you must. So the other pants that you all have seen, I am sure, are the Lane pants by Sydney Graham. I've got some fabric from Fabrics by Penny, because she does some lovely fabrics. It's over on Facebook, and I will pop the details below. And her prices are so good. She has so within the Facebook group, she has an album, and within the album there are subsections all listed. You've got your cottons, you've got your viscose, you've got your sweatshirt, you've got your jerseys, and it's really good. And postage is very quick, and you can speak to them and say, you know, when you would like it, if you need it urgently or whatever. They've got also, Penny does some fabulous haberdashery bits and pieces, so you can get your elastic there as well for your bob and your Lane pants. So anyway, going back, I'm sorry, I digress. Picked up the fabric from Penny, Fabrics by Penny, and I loved it. And it was a bit like almost like a cotton lawn. It was very, very drapey, felt lovely and cool. So I thought, well, I hadn't made the Lane pants before, and I thought, well, this is nice and lightweight. So anyway, I had a go. And what I find excellent with Sydney Graham and her Lane pants, she does a tutorial as well, so which is great, because you can start from the video. It's entirely up to you. You can either watch the video through, then go to your sewing and start cutting out, or do a bit of both. I mean, sometimes I usually just follow the pattern, and then there were a couple of times when I thought, well, I'm just going to check to see which way she did that, and she might actually say something that is quite useful, and it will stick in your brain. So you've got a bit of both with those. With the Lane pants, they're straight down, so you don't have the tapered in towards the ankle like you do with the bob pants. These are straight down. I wore these on quite a hot day with some sandals, and it was lovely. It was just felt really nice, so comfy. And I am going to definitely be making more. I think people don't stop at one with these, they go on and on and on. So that's super cool. Let me just see what else I've got on my list. Sorry, just putting these glasses on. Just picked up these from Vermo. I'm quite impressed, actually. I really am. So yeah, just for reading. I use varifocals, and I fancied, because sometimes when I'm doing the videos, I take my glasses off because the light reflects off them. So I decided that I'd just have a little pair for reading, and I think these cost me £5 and £5 postage as well. But yeah, pretty good. So let me just see if there was anything else that I wanted to tell you. Yeah, so after the episode, the problem I had with the shirt in my previous video, the Donny shirt, I felt a little bit low, and I just felt that I thought, I've done it wrong, I can't do it, why can't I? But it doesn't matter, I will revisit it. I've just popped it away at the moment. But my next pattern, which I will link here as well, which is a shirt, I'm hoping to give that a go. And I think what I'll probably do is I'm going to get some more, just some lightweight cotton, and have a go with it that way. And I'm hoping that I can learn that step by step. It says it's quite an easy project to do, and the instructions do look fairly comprehensive, and there are lots of options with this as well. So you've got the opportunity to work at it at your own pace, step by step. I'm rubbish at sitting back and taking my time. Sometimes I go in too quick and I'm missing things out from the instructions, and then I'm getting in a bit of a pickle. So I do need to slow down and maybe do some of it and then walk away for a bit and then come back and refresh. Maybe that's my problem, I'm not sure, but hey. The other thing that I've been looking at as well is, because my body shape has changed quite a lot after my weight loss. So when I started sewing, I was still on my sort of weight loss journey and trying to get fitter. So the very first things I made, like the Charlie dress, I looked at it this morning and I just thought, that's not going to fit me now, so that isn't going to be any good. What shall I do? And I thought, well, hang on a minute. Okay, yeah, I mean, I do give some of mine to a charity shop, and they do accept them, and they put them on their sale rails. So I thought, well, hang on a minute. Why don't I alter it? It's such a straightforward dress. Sleeves were okay, but so what I did was I just sat and I unpicked it, watched something on the iPad, a movie from Netflix, and I just went through and I took it all apart. Obviously it's easier going from large going down to a smaller size, but I just unpicked everything and I just redrew it with the patterns. They just sat on top of it, put it all together, and do you know what? I think it's gone together much better than it did when I very first made it. I suppose my sewing skills have improved, maybe, and I think maybe because I'm used to the pattern, and that fabric was very reasonable, and it's come together beautifully, and I am so pleased with that. So, and also somebody has recently given me a blouse that unfortunately it didn't suit them, and they'd left it too late to send back, but it is too large for me. So I decided I'm going to have a go, rightly or wrongly, is upcycling it and making it my size, but I also want to make the blouse more me, because it's very plain, so I want to add some detail, whatever, to it. So yeah, so I will be showing you that very soon once I get started, and I'll do that as a step-by-step as well, so you can see what I do. It might not work, but if it doesn't work, I'm still going to show you, because you can see what not to do. So I think that's it for this week. Thank you for coming back. Thank you to everybody also for last week, for your support. It really does mean an awful lot, and I am so grateful. And also, if you could subscribe, if you don't already, that would be incredibly kind, because I'm trying to increase my subscribers so that I can get more people to watch my videos, more beginners hopefully. But yeah, so thank you very much. It's been great to have you here, and I'm going to see you very soon in the next one. Thank you. Bye.